Hey there, tech enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some valuable tips to help you maximize the battery life of your Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. Whether you're a fitness fanatic or just love staying connected, these tips will keep your watch running longer. But before we dive into these battery saving tips, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell notification so that you never miss one of our latest tech updates. Okay, tip number 1 is adjust your display settings. The beautiful AMOLED display on the Galaxy Watch 6 Classic is stunning, but it can be a battery hog if you're not careful. Make sure you're using a dark watch face from the Google Play Store. Try to avoid third-party apps like Facer as they are not optimized for this watch. Here are some of the watch face options that come with the new Galaxy Watch 6 Classic that have a dark version. So the first one is the stretch time. We then have the perpetual. As you can see, most of the background is black, which takes no energy. We also have the professional, which is the one from the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. As you can see, most of this is a dark background.
Artlist.io.
Or if you would like, you can search through and add new watch faces by just rotating the bezel and going through what's available. If you don't like anything here, then you do have the option to download watch faces as well. Just make sure that they are from the Google Play Store. So when you click on that button, it will take you to the Google Play Store. Then you can download any of the watch faces on here. Some of them are free, some of them are not. This particular one, you can see mostly is a dark watch face, so it's going to save you battery life. First, let's go ahead and lower the brightness level on our display by simply swiping down, swiping to the left, clicking on display, and then adjust your brightness to about 40 to 50%, thereabouts. That will help with the battery consumption.
Music licensing.
And this will, once you lower the brightness, this can significantly extend your battery life. Tip number 2 is managing your notifications. Notifications are great, but they can also drain your battery. Go through your apps and customize which ones you want to send notifications to your watch. You can do this on your phone. Let me go ahead and zoom out here. So if we go into our phone here, we want to go into the Galaxy Wearable app, and then we can scroll down to watch settings and go to notifications, app notifications. And here we can turn on or off the apps that we want to notify us on our watch. As you can see, I have some that are turned on and some that are turned off. That way I only get the ones that I want to show up, and this will also help reduce battery. Tip number 3 is to optimize your always-on display. The always-on display is a handy feature, but it can be a battery eater. Consider using a simpler watch face when you don't need all the info. To turn on your always-on display, you can swipe down from the top. We can hit the always-on display to toggle that on and off when we want to use that. You can also get to this by swiping down, going to settings, going to display, and we can turn on always on display here or turn it off. Either way, always on display can eat battery, so only use it when necessary.
Artlist.io.
Tip number 4 is to disable unneeded features. The Galaxy Watch 6 Classic has a lot of cool features, but not all of them need to be running all the time. Disable features like Wi-Fi or GPS when you're not using them. You can do this by swiping down from the
Music
top,
licensing
swiping
reimagined.
over. We can turn off Wi-Fi when we're not using it. We can then swipe down, go to settings,
Artlist.io.
and then we can go into location, and we can turn that on or off so that it's not using our GPS if it's not needed, and this will help reduce the amount of battery that is used on your Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. Tip number 5 is
Music
voice
licensing
wake up.
reimagined.
To turn off the voice wake up, you can go into your settings by swiping down, hitting the gear icon, scrolling down to Google, then selecting Assistant, and then toggling on or off the Hey Google. So we'll turn that off, and that will toggle off the voice wake up. You can still access your assistant if you need to. You can swipe down, go to settings, scroll down to advanced features, scroll down to customize buttons, and here you can assign your assistant to either the double press or press and hold on your home button if you like, and then that way you still have access to your Google Assistant.
Music licensing reimagined.
Tip number 6 is Samsung Health. There are a few settings in Samsung Health you can disable to save on some battery life. The first is the heart rate. This can be changed from the measure continuously to every 10 minutes while still, or even to manually. This does not take a lot of battery, so I usually leave this on for mine on continuous. The next is to disable the snore detection. If you're not likely to use this feature, this can save you some juice as well. To do this, you'll go into your settings by swiping down, going to settings, scrolling down till we find health. And select health. And first one is our heart rate. So we can select measure continuously every 10 minutes while still, or manual. As I said, I leave mine on the measure continuously. Then if you scroll further down, we have snore detection, which can be turned on or off. If you're not going to use this feature, then I suggest that you turn it off to save yourself some battery. Tip number 7 is background apps. By turning off apps that are running in the background, this can help with battery life. Apps that run in the background can reduce battery life significantly, so you might as well close them out. To access your recent apps, swipe up from the bottom, scroll through your app tray until you find this icon here, and then simply click Close All. That will close all of your background apps. You can also do this in your customized buttons by swiping down, going to settings, scrolling down to advanced features, scrolling down to customize, and then we can have our short press show our recent apps. I currently have mine on go to previous screen, but you can set this as well. Therefore, when we swipe back to our main screen and we double click and we click that button, we can access all of our background apps and close them out that way. Tip number 8 is using bedtime mode. By enabling bedtime mode, this will help with accidentally waking the watch up when taking a nap or when sleeping. To enable this, you can swipe down from the top of the screen and select the first icon, which is now called routines. Select sleep, and that will now put your watch into bedtime mode or sleep mode. And then you can easily turn this off by just hitting turn off, and that will bring you back out of bedtime mode. Tip number 9 is making sure that you keep your watch updated. Samsung often releases updates that can improve battery life and overall performance. Make sure your watch is up to date. You can check for updates by swiping down from the top, selecting the settings, scrolling down to software update, and then download and install. This will go out and search for any new updates. If there are any updates, it will come back and ask you if you want to install them. And as we can see, the watch is currently up to date on the latest software. Tip number 10 is battery saving mode or power saving mode. Don't forget you always can enable the power saving mode to get the most battery out of your Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 Classic. To access this, you can simply swipe down from the top of the screen, select Settings, go to Battery and Device Care, select Battery, and now we have an option here for power saving where we can turn it on. Power saving turns off wake up gesture, it turns off always on display, it turns off Wi-Fi, it limits CPU speed, decreases the brightness by 10%, and it limits background network usage, as well as limit background location, background syncing, and reduce screen time out to 10 seconds. You also have the option to do watch only. This gets even more battery life. When you turn this on to watch only, it essentially turns everything off except for the watch face when you press the home key.
Music licensing reimagined.
And there you have it, folks. 10 tips to help you get the most out of your Galaxy Watch 6 Classic's battery life. Remember, a little adjustment can go a long way in preserving power.
Artlist.io.
If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and if you have any more tips or questions, drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay connected.